Hey there, I'm your host RK, and welcome to Culturally Effed After Dark, the series all about furries and sex. Furries are plagued by a negative stereotype, mostly related to the very prominent erotic materials, but also a stigma fabricated by sensationalist media and comedians reaching for low-hanging fruit. I feel it's necessary to open this series with an explanation, and what it is I hope to accomplish. Effed After Dark is not going to be a showcase of weirdos or links to porn sites. We will not tolerate abuse or shame. There's already enough of that on the internet, so go take it out on Reddit, because we don't want it here. Effed After Dark will also not show explicit material, and we will work hard at being safe for work, meaning PG-13. Though not all subject matter is the same, so some age restrictions may be placed on appropriate videos when necessary. Effed After Dark will be an intelligent and respectful discussion about the adult aspects of the fandom and how it affects everyone. We will be addressing, dispelling, or confirming common myths and stereotypes about the fandom. Effed After Dark will be a resource for furries to access and share when they feel shamed, discriminated, or persecuted, or encounter that kind of negativity in their lives or elsewhere online. We'll talk about things like why, when, and how did furry become sexy? Was there anthropomorphic porn before furry? Why do people think furry is only about sex, or that furry is the equivalent to bestiality? We'll also be addressing gender politics in this series, things like why are there more men than women in the fandom, and what role does furry play in the trans community? Furry sexuality is the same as human sexuality. Even though we are a community of animal people, we are all still ultimately Homo sapiens. Only technically, though. Porn and sex are a huge part of society as a whole. Just look at any media like TV, film, the porn industry, and especially the advertising industry. Porn and sex are a similarly significant portion of the furry fandom. By some estimates, even more so. To talk about furries without mentioning the adult aspects would be like trying to talk about Las Vegas without mentioning gambling, or the mafia. I feel like it would be downright dishonest of me to have a show all about furries without at least addressing it. Furry Erotica helps stimulate the internal furry economy. For more information, check out Furry Economics by Culturally Effed. Furry art as a whole helps people come to terms with their own identity too. Erotic works, especially self-inserted commissions, can help people come to terms with their sexuality, experiment with kinks without actually physically taking part in them, or committing to the upfront expenses to buy props, costumes, leather, ropes, and other kink gear. It allows commissioners and creators to create elaborate fantasies that are impossible or even harmful, and does so in a safe and private way. All kinds of people, not just furries, commission artists and dildo makers and costume makers thousands of dollars to help them fulfill their fantasies, no matter how outlandish or impossible. The same is true for other aspects of the sex industry. People with leather or latex fetishes, people who roleplay or wear costumes to help them feel sexy and better about their own bodies. Furries have had an incredibly bad rap when it comes to sex and kink. The lingering stereotype exists in the media from shows like CSI or College Humor's videos The Furry Force.
Prepare to die, perverts!
Furries, GIF mode activate!
Though that example is still really funny and in many ways relevant to what we'll talk about. Even still, this stereotype leaves a lot of furries incredibly ashamed about their sexuality, fantasies, and kinks. I want to give back to my community that's been so supportive to me. I want to give furries a resource to go to when someone shames them for being themselves. And I want to dispel those negative stereotypes and help push the furry fandom into a more positive light in the media. I really hope that all of you out there will take part in this discussion, because it involves all of us, even those of us who do not consume furry erotica or have those fantasies. And yes, those furries do exist. The thing with furry is that everyone has a different way to define it for themselves, so tell us your story. The definition of furry comes from the culmination of everyone's experience, which means the average doesn't fit any one individual perfectly. The comment section is the best place for that discussion, so be sure to subscribe and say something about each episode. Your opinion, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? Who should we have talked to? Tell us your take on the subject matter, because I can't do this alone, and I need all of your help to make the furry fandom better understood by everyone. I'm not going to be able to get things perfectly right the first time, and I take critical comments seriously. Your opinion matters, so long as it's honest and respectful, as I hope this series will be too. If you're just watching this now, you're late to the party. I actually have episodes to the series finished weeks ago, and I publicly released them together in a playlist, which you're probably watching now. Click here to see that next episode as a playlist if you aren't already. Subscribers to my Patreon page get to see Culturally Eft After Dark months in advance. If you want to be the head of the curve for the next one, check out patreon.com/culturallyeft and consider becoming a regular donor. The lowest tier of $1 per video gives you early access to this series. But we have other awesome perks at higher rates for you to see too. You can also set a budget, so if we get upload crazy in a month, you won't spend more than you want. In the next installment of Culturally Eft After Dark, we will go through commonly used furry lingo that involves dirty words that furs use to talk about sex, and hurtful words used by sex-shamey jerks. I would like to thank the YouTube channel Sexplanations for inspiring me to create this series. You should definitely check them out. I have been your host, RK. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.